I am Igor Mkrtumyan, the president of Internet Society of Armenia. I am second time fellow at ICANN 53, and this time I am a senior coach, and I'm supposed to transfer my experience to new fellows. I think that it's very important for every person, despite the age, to be a fellow once in his life, because you are getting so much new impressions and experience as a fellow that everyone need to pass this step in his life. So my life in internet started in 1993 when I visited the first INET conference organized by Internet Society, and it was organized by George Sadowski and Joanne Scott, and it was a wonderful time, so romantic. We were full of expectation concerning the internet, and consider the internet a great tool that will change the life of the whole mankind, and it was very useful. And at that time, Armenia has no governance infrastructure, because we have a domain .am, but nobody can manage it because we have no rights. So my first goal was to find out how we can take the right of .am management to Armenia, because it was after the collapse of the Soviet Union. It was in Moscow, and it was not normal for an independent state. So I consulted with George Sadowski and John Postel how to organize that so that Armenia can take the rights of management of the domain. And they advised me to set up, organize an internet community, or to set up Internet Society of Armenia, and on behalf of that Internet Society to apply to IANA to take the rights of the management to Armenia, to Internet Society. So I followed their advice, and turning home, I organized an initiative group which drafted the bylaws of the Internet Society of Armenia, registered it at the Ministry of Justice, and from that time we started organizing our internet community and working with them. So after setting the Internet Society of Armenia, I went to INET 95, and once again I met with John Postel, this outstanding person who managed to organize to find an organization or a person in every country in the world who can manage the national domain. So this time I already came with all the documents that we prepare, so to say the bylaw of our organization, our potential, our abilities, our people who can who are able to organize that in a proper way. And that was a success because John Postel agreed, and he provided us the right for the domain management. So starting from 1997, we are the managers of the Armenian domain, and we are registry, and we are just organizing our activity for the development of internet in Armenia. So due to the help of such an outstanding people like George Sadowski, John Postel, we managed to organize our activity in a proper way and in the correct way, because up to the best practice of organization that will manage national domain, it is necessary the internet community take the most active part in managing the country domain. So it was the best way first to organize the community in the internet society and then have all the rights to speak on behalf of that community. So from that time on, we had a lot of works. We set up our DNS servers, the instances, the connection to the internet, reliable connection, then a disaster recovery plan, etc. And so we make that on a proper level, and we were developing very fast. We were one of the first national domain managers and registries who upgraded the network to IP6 and installed the DNSSEC servers. So we were doing a lot of community grants, and due to these community grants, we were able to upgrade our academic and research network to IP6. We were able to set up Armenian Internet Exchange, which is very important because Internet exchange for every country is absolutely necessary thing. Then we, due to the grants of community grants of Internet Society, we set up Internet Availability Center for blind people of Armenia. So we were doing a lot of job. We were training the network administrators for schools of Armenia. For example, in Armenia there are 1,400 schools, and we trained network administrators for 800 Armenian schools. So our activity is very noticeable in Armenia. And from that time, we also decided that Armenia must have its own IDN CCTLD domain, and we applied for IDN CCTLD. We got just approval of ICANN, and then we got a delegation from IANA, and now we are in the sunrise period, and we are starting registration in our IDN CCTLD. And we are organizing our first Internet Governance Forum, which is the first time we are providing in Armenia, and we managed to create a really multi-stakeholder working group, and it unites both ministries, mass media, internet service providers, academic networks, libraries, etc. And so we hope that it will be successful. It will be on the 7th and 8th of September. So we are very diverse plans, and we are working hard, to implement them, and in order to have the internet development in Armenia, to raise it on a higher level. By the way, I want to say that there is such an indicator, ripeness. RIPE shows the IP6 readiness of different countries. Armenia is on the first place. If you so if you see the RIPE the website, you will see that Armenia is on the first place. It's also very pleasant for us to see that we are on the first frontiers of internet development among the countries.